Saturday night. This will be the 5th time the rivals will meet in the playoffs, but first time in a decade. Lamar has never faced Mike Tomlin and company in the postseason. He's 2-4 all-time against Pittsburgh, with one of those wins coming last month at home. Shefty back with us here. Zay Flowers had 5 catches for 100 yards in that last meeting against the Steelers. So what's the latest on Flowers' knee right now, Shefty?
Well, Kevin, it was another did not practice today. And if you've got a couple of do not practices back to back and the game is Saturday night as it is, that is not an encouraging sign for his availability for that game. Right now, it looks like there's a real possibility the Ravens will be without Zay Flowers for the playoff matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, also some questions about Kyle Hamilton, who was full practice today after limited with the knee. The full practice tells you that Kyle Hamilton should be good to go, while there are questions about Zay Flowers. And Kyle Hamilton, the quarterback of that defense, playmaker back there, that's an encouraging sign for his availability for Saturday night's game.
Shefty, I know today was a very tough day for your family. We want to send our heartfelt thoughts with you. I know your beloved Benny, the best boy. Thank you for joining us here, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, Shefty.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, this lost one of his dogs, and they are family members. We all have experienced that. If you're a dog owner, you know what that is like as a family. Let's get back to the Steelers and their second half schedule. We know it was brutal, and it showed. Russell Wilson has lost his last 4 starts, tied for the second longest streak in his career after starting the season 6-1. He's averaged close to 3 fewer yards per attempt in his last 4 games. QBRs dropped by 22, so some concerns heading into this. A lot of concerns, J-Mac. The keys for this offense to turn things around, because it's one and done if they don't fix it.
Yeah, if Mike Tomlin brought me in and allowed me to go meet with Arthur Smith, my guy who I was in Tennessee with, I give him 3 keys to the game.
Right,
I said, go ahead and give me the headset. Let me help you out on Sunday and find a way to get the ball out to these guys. So I think it comes to first. Play action pass on first down. Allow Russ to be able to get the ball in chunks down the middle of the field and make plays, and trust that they can do that. I think the second part of it is he's going to have to use his legs. The games and the different things the Ravens are doing up front, Russ may not be the one of all, but he can still make plays on the perimeter. I'm not saying hold the ball the entire time, but when he has to and he has to take off, for one, you got to protect the ball. This was a huge play in that last game, and they're getting ready to go into the end zone if he doesn't fumble. But he's going to have to use his legs. The last part is once a quarter, take a shot. You have to throw the ball down the field. In their last game, they didn't do that, and they struggled. They had 1 drive in that game. And now for this one, you're going against this Ravens team and this secondary on the outside. Challenge those corners and make them have to respect you. Loosen up that defense and then be able to run the ball.
Challenge one corner.
Yes.
You go at 21.
The rookie's been really good.
Wiggins has been great.
Nate Wiggins has been great. Brandon Stevens is who you want to try to throw the ball on and be able to make those plays down the field. Pickens has to catch the ball as well.
Yes. I agree. I'd go after Stevens. If they get into third down, they're dead.
Yes.
If they get into third and obvious against this defense under Zach Orr that's exactly figured out how to kind of live in that Mike McDonald, their old defensive coordinator world, they're dead. 4 down linemen, but you really have Van Noy as the stand-up. Yes. Roquan's there. Roquan doesn't pressure guys, so you can't pay attention to him. They're going to drop him out. The problem is you now create the one-on-ones. And so they'll take Matabike and Kyle Van Noy and run those pick game stunts, and you still have 7 guys in coverage. So I'm just wasting your offensive lineman. Russ has got nowhere to go, even though it's 3rd and 5. This time they got 7 up in the line of scrimmage, and they're always living in a 6-man protection in Pittsburgh. You're down 1. So if you take your center, right guard, and tackle to the right, left guard and left tackle to the left, well, guess what? Your back is left with 2. And I'm eating up an offensive lineman that's doing absolutely nothing. And so now Russell's got to run away for his leg because there's no plan for pressure. It's 3rd and 8. Well, he gets a completion, but great, you're off the field. Another 6-man protection. Baltimore's got 7 up there at the line of scrimmage. I don't think Arthur Smith could just line up and do that, because all you know is this. Baltimore ain't all out coming. They're just running these simulators. And so what happens is they got all those one-on-ones on the outside. The tackles cannot hold up against their pressure. How many in coverage again? 7. I only got 4 out in the route. Advantage the defense. And so all these checkdowns are going to be dead. J-Mac, you mentioned it. This is a bad football team on first down.
Yeah.
Offensively, they are a very bad football team. So if their mindset has to be, they got to be first down, second down, first down. Because if they get into third down, look at where they rank on first down, yards per play, worst in the NFL, success rate, worst in the NFL, QBR performance, 3rd worst in the NFL. They got to be so much better on first down to even think about having a chance to win this game.
You mentioned it, J-Mac, on Pickens. right? I almost threw a pin at you because I was so excited about it.
I was getting ready to sue you.
Pickens has to prove he's a number one receiver.
How do you do it?
Right? Because his talent is there as a number one.
Yeah.
His performance has not been a number one.
Yeah.
And that's simple as that. And it's not the drops. Like, the drops are things that you need. Will you take them in and of themselves? No. But when you combine them with the emotions that he shows at the game at times, or when you look at the interception that Russell Wilson threw when he doesn't continue on a route down the sideline and make plays away from the target, those are the issues. As a number one receiver, you cannot have plays where you take yourself out of execution, where you take yourself out of the game. The threat of you being there. This is an opportunity to do that. It's the playoffs. The only way they're going to get shots down the field and complete them is through George Pickens.
Real quick, what would you do if you were Pickens, though? Because Baltimore's not going to play him one-on-one. They're not going to give him those opportunities. So, like, how do you make sure that you take him and he gets the opportunity without him feeling frustrated?
It's exactly what we talked about with A.J. Brown. Like, yeah, if you are getting double teamed and we're taking you away, that's our team. It's our responsibility as an offense to find the open guy. And until you continue on and take those guys away, you're not going to be able to get those targets.
Gotcha.
That's where the maturity level for George Pickens
Keep
needs
in
to
mind,
step up.
Pickens just caught 31% of his targets the last 2 games.
Yeah.
That's not helping the
Hasn't been
offense.
good enough.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for us here on the set here for NFL Live. For Dano, Hawk, J-Mac, I'm Kevin.
Rings in older age. So if I'm Mike Evans, I'm watching this film and I'm breaking it down.
Is that
I'm
Mike's
telling
game,
you,
though?
That is Mike's game.
He's off the line of scrimmage
He's
now.
going. He's not don't dance around, don't wrestle. That'll be the tough part for Mike. Because the juices will be going with them going against Marshawn.
Can I be a defender at the table?
Please, go ahead.
Marshawn had a few weeks off. He had gotten a trade. He's injured. First game back, he's going against A.J. Brown. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to give the defender.
You should. I'm just telling Mike Evans what we see on film.
You're just coaching your guy.
I'm going to say, hey, there's a guy who's had a few weeks off. He's injured.
Yeah.
And he's going to be very patient. You combat patience with going now. Make him chase. Put a little pressure on that hamstring.
I like it. I'm looking at I mean, that's where my eyes are going to be. But when they're not, I'm looking at Frankie Louisville. You're talking about a guy defensively that is all over the field for the Washington Commanders. He's at times he's on the end of the line of scrimmage and he's rushing the passer. He's back there as an off-the-ball linebacker. He's making tackles in the run game. So I'm looking at this guy is going to affect someone like Bucky Irving when he hands the ball off or when he's in the flat. He's going to be that guy. But he's also going to, on third down, be the guy rushing Baker Mayfield to try to force the ball out of his hands quick. So he is a guy that when we met with him earlier in the season, he said the energy is where the ball is. He is always going to be around the ball, and he fires up that defense. So I'll be having my eyes on him.
Yeah, he's had an all-pro caliber season, Louisville. It's been awesome. Washington will not win this game unless they stop Tampa's counter. Tampa's counter run game, no matter if they run it with both backs on the field, with one back on the field, they pull both offensive linemen, they pull a tight end, they pull an extra guard. Like it is tremendous. And I would say that they are the best counter run team in football. I mean, anytime you're running the football this year and you're doing it better than Philly, you've done something good. I think that's the key for Washington is how do they handle the down block double team and then getting over the top, because Rashad White, Bucky Irving, Sean Tucker, all of them run it well. And if they don't stop the counter, this game could get into the 30s for both teams.
I'm glad you guys are talking about Bucky Irving, because when you look at his yards per rush,
so good.
5.6, fourth best in the league, behind only Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, and Jameer Gibbs. The guy